Podcast. Your home for sports, news, pop culture, tech, and the obscure. And of course, your host, Michael Myers.
Hey, how is everybody doing? This is episode 25, I believe, of the OnCall podcast.
Really? That many?
Well, I did have the one bedtime story for Jax, which doesn't really count as an episode, I guess. But I did it nonetheless. And this one, it's good to have a tech genius.
Totally. That was actually my first website, The Video Genius.
Oh, look at you. You just breaking ground everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, as the old adage goes, new beer, new me. This I guess it's not really new, but it's a land shark from the tap.
I noticed you have the main lights off. Is Nicole in bed right now?
The main lights are on, but this new light is so bright, it really overpowers the yellow hue of my bedroom lights. Mm-hmm. And then a couple more on the way, like on either side. So at least to even out some lighting. I didn't realize a 64 light LED thing to mount under the GoPro would be so bright.
Yeah, you need to diffuse it. So you can put...
I saw that, actually. And there's these little studio lights that come with the paper to go over the lens with two little tripods.
Oh, those are gels, but you don't want to red... I mean, you want to...
Yeah,
you probably want a one between white and yellow.
And then the other one I saw, it really was like those canvas things that go around the light and then the soft white in front of it. So it looks like a fucking photographer. They look pretty cool.
I like the warm lights. See, I have that one. Actually, the LED I have up there.
I see.
No,
I get that.
I updated your episode list on your website.
I appreciate that. I figure maybe I should try to get into a habit of having a theme, so maybe a different hat every episode. I don't know.
A different hat? Do you have enough hats for that?
Well, I'm not sure if we keep fans long enough for a new guy to notice. I have probably 15. That's good rotation.
15 hats.
One Atlanta Braves hat. Pardon my ignorance. Who is that artist that's behind you? Is that Bowie? Seems like it'd be something weird like Bowie. Who's that? The painting. Ah, it's okay. No, I don't feel so bad. No, I don't feel bad at all.
Look what I got.
Oh, a Hero 3. There you go. Did you do that? Is that new, or did you have it?
I know, I've had it.
Are you going to use it? Because with the capture card, it makes for a really good video for the older ones in a Windows.
Yeah, but then I saw you can get the capture link, the Elgato capture link, but it's $126 and it just lets you bring the HDMI signal in. But then I was like, oh, I have a Canon 5D Mark II. I could use a professional DSLR with that. So I don't know.
Now
I
that
don't really
camera,
care that much about video.
I was looking up on that. If you're using a DSLR, does yours have a timer on it, an idle timer?
You can change it.
So I was going to use Nicole's DSLR for this, but her idle time is 30 minutes and it cuts off. It'd be really awkward for a video.
So just press the button. But yeah, it lets you change all those default settings and stuff.
I did hear that. Just like you said that there's software for Windows to be able to run the GoPro camera.
Yep.
I mean, really, if you just use a capture card, I don't know if I would use the Elgato just because it's so fucking expensive.
Yeah, they're expensive.
You can use a cheaper capture card, I assume, and get similar results now. They can't have that much of a monopoly on the system, right?
Well, theirs are pretty cheap, so.
Yeah, I figure if nothing else, if we do this build, we can get something cheaper than a fucking capture card. Nicole already yelled at me about it, though.
About the PC?
Yeah. She's like, we fucking talked about this, and I let you get an iPad Pro. I was like, I know, babe.
I know, that's right. You bought a $900 iPad Pro, right?
Right, and I use it every day, and I absolutely love my iPad Pro. And I didn't know that this podcast would go to a video medium at all, but I really like the idea of doing video.
What could you sell your laptop for?
I sold my super old MacBook Pro. That one's a 2011, which I had upgraded the solid state and some RAM. So like, it's got 16 gigs of RAM and a solid state drive. It's super quick and it works nice. I sold that for $300. And if I'm going to do a build, I would probably sell this MacBook that I'm recording now on. And that really probably would put me at like 800 of the significantly more expensive build.
Well, I mean, you don't need to spend more than, 1,100 on that one we spec'd out.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of pre-builds out there that, if you spend an extra 150, they send it to you with tower ready to roll. I thought about it.
No, you can put it together, man. It's not that hard.
I actually watched a famous YouTuber show his wife how to do it, and honestly, it looks like if I have an hour and a half, I can do this.
Yeah.
Not counting like going into the BIOS and trying to put the software in and doing like Microsoft Home or anything. So do you,
Yeah, that's...
I know people probably are annoyed by this, but like tech talk, but do you run like a Linux or do you run Windows?
Windows. Yeah, no, I have to run Windows because I have to use Adobe product.
Oh, I got you. So I
The
figured
Linux is really light. That's why people like it.
that makes sense. I worry about, I guess one of the biggest draws of doing a build and not buying it from the store is like it doesn't have all that fucking bloatware on it, which is pretty exciting.
Also, you're not paying the markup for them to make a profit.
Fair. And it is significantly cheaper. That PC parts list that you sent me, that website is pretty gnarly because it gives competitive prices on like 4 or 5 websites, wherever that is sold. Everything, Amazon, Best Buy, Newegg, everything. That's pretty baller.
I'm glad you are coming around, man. I hate it when people are like, no, I have to get a Mac. And I'm like, dude, it's like, I like the Macs, but it's just, you're paying for it to be small. You know what I'm saying? Like everything fits in this tiny little neat design. That's great. It's awesome for laptops. But if you're not going to plan on moving the computer, you have the iPad to move around with. The desktop's much bigger, but it's cheaper and faster and upgradable.
If this Rodecaster had one more USB slot, I would be pretty set because the video would be a little bit better because I would plug the iPad Pro and the MacBook in for video, and it would disperse. One would be running video, one could run the audio and be good to go. Because this MacBook,
what?
if you could run them both, because I would have like a FaceTime with you for video and run Zoom on the iPad Pro and then run the audio through the MacBook into the Rode. Then I would just put the shit together. It's 2 separate files. One's video, one's audio.
Oh, right. Yeah, because you're not running your Rodecaster into your computer.
Right. It's just going
Well, why
into
not?
it. Yeah, see? So it would work well, ideally. Without if there's not big delays, it would work really well. That's the
Oh, but
issue.
there's a delay.
Sometimes, but I think that has to do more with OBS. Which I've already
'Cause you're
corrected.
recording. Yeah, you're asking a lot of your MacBook right now. OBS recording.
Yep.
Then you're also Zoom chatting, and then you're also
I do have it, but I'm not utilizing it right now, so it is in pretty idle. And right now my CPU is at 34% at 20 frames per second.
you're recording at 20 frames per second.
To keep from fucking up everything, yeah. That's as low as I had to go. That's pretty much as low as I can.
As high as you can go.
Yeah,
I
once
mean,
I
if you
went
can
to
get up to 24, that'd be great.
I'm working on it.
But that MacBook probably. Do you know what type of graphics card you have in there? It might be. Is it on
Intel
like a
630.
built-in one?
Yeah. It's the one that was in it.
Yeah,
The
that's
Intel
terrible.
It's not good. And because it's
A lot of times they don't even have a separate one depending on what year.
and one thing I know is because this is such an old MacBook, I can't plug an external into it. Everything has to be Thunderbolt 3, which is USB-C.
You can't plug an external LED into it.
Graphics card.
Oh God, yeah. Well, that would be ill-advised anyway.
I mean, there's a couple that are really good. That's when I was going to get a Mac Mini because I was going to really try to utilize it. I was going to get a Mac Mini and a keyboard to take over, but then I find you have to have an external, and that is not good. It's almost as much. A good GPU is as much money as a fucking Mac, an external one with a casing in.
Yeah, my video card was $500 when I bought it, and I think now it goes for around. Video RAM, and I think mine has 6 gigs.
Yeah, that one that you sent me is a pretty highly rated.
You're probably working on your Mac with like 500 megabytes of video RAM.
If we're lucky. Do
But you also want to make sure. You can spec out a quiet fan too, so that
right.
like your CPU fan is not super loud. I mean, like
I don't hear yours.
I know, but when I crank it up, when I like boost the gain and everything, I can still hear it, and I like denoise it and stuff. But I would prefer it to not make any sound at all. But I just cleaned out the office today. I'm turning it into a little studio. Gonna go to Lowe's tomorrow and build some acoustic panels.
No shit. You are going all out, huh?
Yeah, that's what you should do is get your logo printed on fabric and then wrap the fabric on the acoustic panel. Be super legit.
You know, I was actually kind of talking with Dan from Concepts AD about doing a fabric. They were even he was talking about printing stuff onto like a tablecloth. That way it's on a fabric and everything. And it would, I'm hoping to get a hoodie. I know it's a little warm right now, but we keep the house cold.
Yeah, aren't you getting one for Nicole?
Yeah, black one.
That's funny. I one of my first like video projects was I worked for a company that sold those machines that like print on that type of stuff.
Those things are fucking cool. The way that they can make any color they want. Yeah, being able to make any color you want. I forget what the word was the way they design things and the machine that does it.
Vector graphics.
And I'm gonna see. I have your build set up and ready to roll, and I'm gonna see what the fellows from Concept AD have in mind too. Whew. I imagine.
They want you to. Oh, he suggested you build a PC too.
He did. I feel like
nice.
you guys are probably gonna be. He's probably gonna want a more high tech system because he showed me his stuff, and he's running like 5 screens.
5?
It's a whole home entertainment thing.
3, and if you count the TV, 4, but that's kind of a joke because everything is so tiny on there because it's like 4K resolution.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't run 4K.
2 different computers though.
I have to record with this webcam in 720 at 20 frames per second.
When I checked your YouTube video that you recorded, and I was like, you had the 2 different logos, and then you had the OnCallPod logo. I was like, you have your logo twice. You have 3 different logos up there.
That's right. I keep it legit.
Can you zoom in on the GoPro? On the GoPro.
Yeah, well, right now it's set up on linear, I can zoom in a little further, but I can switch it from wide, narrow, and linear. So right now it's on linear, so it doesn't have the fisheye look near as much on video.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have a whole lot of topics today. But, you wear an Atlanta Braves hat. And there's one special day in baseball that I'm a big fan of. And it has made me laugh many a time, every time I've heard about it. You're a couple years older than me, so this is actually kind of out of your realm, too.
Yeah, but you're married and you have like multiple kids, so you're way older than me, really.
Yeah, in adulting, I'm legit a decade up on you. You see these bags under my eyes? That's real. It's fatherhood. Yeah, you.
Mine's from alcohol.
That's not helping me either. But on an infamous day in 1974, one of the only games in baseball history that was forfeited.
Because it went too many innings.
Well, 9 is usually too many innings sometimes. I
They
love
go like
baseball.
20-something innings.
Yeah,
I feel like I read about this.
So, in June 4th, 1974, the Cleveland Indians had a game 6 days prior against, I think it was the Detroit Tigers. That's not the one. Oh, the Texas Rangers. They had a game 6 days prior to this day. And there was some plunking. Players hitting players, throwing at each other. It got pretty aggressive. Well, leading up to that game 6 days later, the Texas Rangers were talking shit to the Indians. Well, the Cleveland Indians decided to throw 10-cent beer night. Even with inflation, 10 cents is fucking nothing. You can go with $2 to the game and get plastered.
I don't even think I can get drunk on that level of alcohol unless you pregame with the liquor.
10 cents a beer? They didn't limit how much you could drink.
I would have to pee every like 12 seconds.
Well, if you're drinking to get hammered, you absolutely would. Now, the thing is, the stadium opened 2 hours before the game, and people did pregame.
Got to pregame with liquor. And sneak it in too, probably.
There is a story of a dude who brought in a gallon of Thunderbolt. It was like vodka back in the day. It wasn't good quality stuff. It's bad. So, by the second inning, the first woman ran onto the field and flashed everybody.
Boobs.
Apparently, they were nice boobs, but it was a middle-aged woman who probably shouldn't have been showing her boobs.
Those are the best type of boobs, in my opinion.
Let them hang, sweet chariot. And by the third inning, a dude ran on to the field, buck-ass naked.
Oh, nobody wants to see a shriveled up, drunken wiener.
And not only did he run onto the field, he also slid into second base. Right?
Head first, or
He actually did feet first. So he got all up his side, but he got away. No one caught him. Maybe by choice. I don't know. I mean, do you really want to try to arrest?
Grab him because
Yeah,
he's naked.
no one wants to arrest a naked dude.
That's what I always say. If you ever get in a street fight, just strip psychologically, and I feel like you'll be more aerodynamic, maybe.
Yeah, well, I really just wear a sock on it and kind of tuck it up into the cheeks. I feel like that's really going to give you some aerodynamics.
Just a jockstrap. Yeah, I actually do know a bit about baseball. I can tell you anything about the '90s Braves, but that's about it.
They were awesome.
I could say, yeah, they won the division 13, 14 years in a row. I could tell you the whole team that won the World Series.
I'm a huge
They
Greg
beat the
Maddux
Cleveland
fan.
Indians.
Greg Maddux, huge fan.
Oh, yeah, that pitching roster was next level.
He-
Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, John Smoltz, Steve Avery. They had Mark Wohlers as their closer. I'm sure they had one more pitcher. I just can't remember.
And then
Yeah, pretty legit.
shortly after that, was it John Smoltz had Tommy John surgery, and then he had to be a closer.
Oh yeah, that's right. And that was around when I stopped watching. Yeah, Smoltz. I remember my dad telling me that Smoltz had to have his psychiatrist in the stands or something, and I always thought it was weird. But now that I think about it, I'm like, dude, that pitching is a mental game. I totally understand that.
Dude, so much so. That's got to be true. It's got to be. Every single pitch is a mental chess game. So it did not take long for people to get really unruly. In the third inning, the Rangers were up 2-0, and things were getting out of control a little bit, actually. The players were starting to holler at the teams, holler at the fans. Fans started throwing shit.
Like batteries.
That's Philly.
I thought that was New York.
And then it was worse than that, actually, because by the seventh inning, fans were ripping the seats of the chairs at the players and hit a bunch. They also...
But you can't play the game. Their team was losing, I guess?
They were down, yep. The Cleveland Indians were down 5-1. But by the time it got really unruly, it was 5-5. It was so bad. Fans entered the dugouts of the Texas Rangers, were beating the shit out of players in the dugout. It was so fucking crazy. The only limit...
maybe only if they have numbers, because, like a sober baseball player is going to beat up a drunken average person,
I kind of think something bad was going to happen either way, because Texas was talking shit for 6 days before the game. The only
How are they talking shit? Like in the news?
Yes. All through the media. Now, the only thing I can think of is that people knew there was going to be rowdiness, because the only limits the stadium even put on the game was the players, or the fans could only get 6 drinks per purchase. Not 6 drinks per person. 60 cents. You can get your 6 beers and you have to leave. And you can come back.
And this was 1974.
Mm-hmm. This was a very rough day.
All right, let's see how much it is. Okay.
Oh, are you looking at inflation?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Let's. I imagine 10 cents then is 82 cents. Really? Oh my goodness!
So $100 then was $556 now.
I really wish I could get a 50-cent beer at a ball game right now. That would be so great.
Yeah, right? God. It'd probably be like 1% alcohol though.
Well, people, you know what? If I'm only paying 50 cents, I don't care. Give me all 6. I'll catch a buzz eventually.
I mean, can't you sneak liquor in though? Like, couldn't you have like a Ziploc bag of some vodka and put it in your pocket?
Well, really, they half-ass check you at stadium checkpoints anyway.
Oh yeah, they don't
easily.
Yeah, I've been to a couple Braves games last year, and yeah, they don't. You just, yeah.
I had a tie that doubled as a balloon.
Yeah, I seen those. Sir, your tie is really thick. I don't understand.
Like
and
thick ties.
It sounds sloshy.
What are you gonna do?
That's true.
So it did get to the 9th, and there was a chance the game would get finished. There was a 2-out rally by the Indians. They were ready to win. They had a man on second base.
Scoring position.
That's right. The fans got so unruly, they decided to run onto the field and try to rip the turf off the field and rip the sprinklers out of the ground. So...
Wait, we had cameras in 1974. Can I watch video of this?
There are several pictures of it.
Wait, what was it? In 1974, what do I Google?
10-cent beer night.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
nice.
There's a lot of stuff on it. The stories have been done by Fan Buzz.
3.2%. So this is like this is a little bit more than half the strength of a Budweiser.
Now Stroh's, yeah. Well, people wanted The beer is so
Oh,
bad.
but they were 65 cents. So what's 5 times 65? Okay, they were around 65 cents times 5, like $3
What?
for a 3, like
For what?
in our time. Like in our time, that's what the normal cost was. Yeah, riot in the 9th inning.
Yep. The grounds crew that was trying to clean up all the trash that was constantly getting thrown into the field, they decided they had to try to protect the field or there'd never be like a game again. So you kind of got to take what you can get.
I'm watching a ESPN thing on it.
Yeah.
They're showing shots of coins and beer being poured.
The fans were in line and demanding so much beer, they had to keep constantly refilling kegs. And it got so bad, the fans were actually going to the trucks and just waiting at the trucks, the beer trucks. And then when things were starting to get so bad, the people working at the kiosks weren't even bothering. And dudes were just hopping the gate and just taking turns slugging from the tap.
Animals. They're animals.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it doesn't get much worse than that, right? It's one of the worst stories of baseball and camaraderie you can imagine.
You remember that I don't know if there's anything worse than that in sports.
Oh, the Pacers-Pistons game? The Malice at the Palace? I do remember. I watched that game live. That was awesome. Ron
Wow.
Artest
Yeah,
running
that was
up into the stands and beating the shit out of just swinging. Yeah, that was probably, that was probably worse than 10-cent beer night because that was just fans being assholes.
Can you imagine like you're just heckling a player and he comes up in the stands and punches you in the face? He's like 6'7". Like, God.
I would like to. I would like to be put in check. I bet you that's the last time that dude talks shit to a player.
He was like, he got paid, man, probably. Well,
Oh,
unless
you
he
think?
poured his beer, then he got less money, probably. But
He probably said some racist comments too that were caught on audio.
we should do a whole episode about that.
The Malice at the Palace.
Yeah,
Because that was 2004. So it was like 30 years. It could have been 30 years to the day.
What?
It could have been 30 years to the day. I don't know what the date of the Malice at the Palace was. But it was...
Oh, for 1970. Oh, I got
from,
it.
yeah, from 74. From,
Well, only off by 16 years. No big deal.
Let's see. Malice at the Palace. It was 2016. Oh, no. November 19th, 2004. So it wasn't... But it was still 30 years after.
2004? Oh,
Yeah.
I was going to say that's 30 years off. Oh, 16, right? So, yeah. Almost 42 years off.
It's a... I mean, that was I don't even know if that game finished, but I do know it was a rough game. That was when the Pistons were fucking awesome.
Like Zidane, I remember in the World Cup where he headbutted that guy. That's the
right in his chest,
the
yeah.
top ones I remember.
So it's weird that we hold athletes to such a high standard when you realize, like, for their whole lives, these people have been held. Like, they're greater than everything.
Well, imagine if you were at work and you started punching your boss in the face or like your coworker in the face.
I get that, but I have not been under national spotlight my whole life. I imagine that weighs on you. Like, if I was famous and the paparazzi followed me all the time, I would probably be fed up. I would probably snap.
That would be annoying.
I would have a Britney Spears moment. I would go into a barbershop, just buzz my fucking head and hit people with umbrellas. That's another.
We did a Katie Couric episode about that. Jennifer Gardner, and she was talking about they would.
I mean, that's another weird topic that could be done, and that's on like Britney Spears, because there's something hinky going on with the fact she can't even touch her own money. She's got the conservatorship, so her dad actually controls all of her finances. There's something weird going on, and she can't get it overturned.
Interesting.
You have to look that one up because it's
do it.
crazy. Like it's apparently super hard to turn over a conservatorship, which just means that after you've been found mentally ill, you can't make sound decisions for your life or lifestyle. So she had a judge order her father control all of her life. So now, 15, 16 years later, whenever it was that she lost her mind and did the head shaving thing, she still can't fucking control her own money.
Did you see that South Park episode about it?
No, but I watched the Perez Hilton video. Leave Britney alone.
I feel like that might be the one. Maybe not. I don't know. Where they like people love to like build up celebrities and then watch them like crash and burn.
Oh, that's the American way. Build up a celebrity to tear him the fuck down, right? That's right.
Like Bill Cosby.
Well, I mean, rape, not quite the same as like just losing it on paparazzi. But, what is going on with your life now, my friend? I have spent...
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Before we get to you, because I wanted to say, I have spent so much time on the Facebook Marketplace. It is astounding.
Oh, yeah, I listened in your episode that you guys sold some desks, right?
Couple of desks. And today, I sold a Yeti carry-all bag. I sold a dryer.
Wow, you got your PC money coming in.
That's what brought up the getting yelled at. I talked about, I'm making all this money. And then she goes, I'm going to put all this money in here for this. I was like, wait. I'm just selling all my stuff. This is for the baby. I was going to look at the PC build money. And that's when she freaked out. And she said, no.
Just buy a piece at a time,
If we combine bank accounts, she's going to see charge to newegg.com. And what is this for $287?
Right, I'll buy it for you, and you just like
Venmo.
give me like $20 a week. I'll charge you a little bit of interest.
So now you know my life in a nutshell. What's been going on with you, amigo?
And I reached out to the founder of Anchor, but he hasn't gotten back to me yet. We'll have to wait and see about that one.
He's big now. He's big timing. Now that he got bought by Spotify.
He's just got a job at Spotify now.
Does he? I thought maybe
both founders do.
I thought maybe he'd be like Tom from MySpace. He's like, I'm gonna go live my dream now. I made my money.
I mean, that's what I would do. Apparently, he wants to keep working in the industry, but I would just be like, hey, what else can I do now?
Yeah, I mean, I probably wouldn't stay in the industry because like I already did it. I succeeded. Here's $20 million to my name. What's next?
20?
I don't know what was Anchor bought for.
I have no idea. Let's find out.
Because, I mean, I guess Anchor's still really fucking huge. But...
Oh, huge. They have 40% of the market. And no one else has above like 8. The next biggest is SoundCloud, and they have 8.
I didn't realize it was that gargantuan of a difference.
Oh, Anchor was acquired by Spotify for $140 million.
Man.
And $140 million, and they weren't even that big.
I didn't realize that's fucking gargantuan. I need to get into the game. I gotta switch. I gotta find us something. I gotta invent something people need.
Yeah, it's hard though. But then like even if you can get to the point where you build it, then getting users is hard as fuck. It's like trying to make a successful Instagram account. You have to like, I don't know, it's hard.
Yeah, now everyone does it, so it's also a super saturated market. Like we use Podbean. And there's so many people
Yeah.
that don't even know what Podbean is.
Yeah, I can tell you what percentage Podbean has of the market because I have a guide on my site that shows what percentage of the market everyone has. Took me freaking hours to put this together.
And I have no plans to change because like Podbean, like they have an awesome customer service thing. And I do like the unlimited hosting.
What are you talking about?
Like using Podbean, I don't want to switch from them because like they have the best prices or like some of the best prices.
I could tell you what, I have all the pricing right in front of me. But yeah, Podbean has 4.4% of the market.
I'll take it.
What Podbean plan are you on?
When I signed up for it, there was only two. There was free and then like premium. So it was
Okay. They have 3 different ones now. Well, they have a free one, but it limits you to 5 total. Their second biggest plan is $9, which gives you unlimited downloads and storage in a domain. Then $29 gives you video, and then the $100 gives you multiple shows, and you can remove branding. But
yeah, I got
yeah,
number
they
2.
all have different pricing models, but I like Transistors because it does pricing based on downloads. So you can have unlimited shows and websites and stuff like that, but you just have a limited amount of downloads. But I'm not going to hit 10K downloads a month, so that's fine. But I don't like it when they limit you based on how much you can upload. So Buzzsprout, their $12 plan or their $18. So
That's
you
pretty
can only
low.
upload a certain amount.
6-hour storage is pretty low.
Well, I mean, yeah. Let's say if you're doing two 45-minute episodes a week, that's what that breaks down to basically. I think 8 45-minute episodes is 6 hours, right? I don't know, somewhere around there.
Yeah, that's more than I thought. Really, I guess. It just seems so minimal. Because what if things start taking off? Then like you're having to try to change and find.
Well, if things start taking off, you upgrade. But that's why I prefer it that you do your pricing based on download. It's like
Right.
it's what really costs the company money. So
Well, if you're really successful and you have all these people on there, you really do have to use a lot of cloud storage. Like they're storing the stuff for you. I know it's not downloading, but you're still using up a shit ton of storage.
yeah, but the thing is like $19 for, let's say $19 for 6 hours of bandwidth, like storage. That's nothing. Like that's that pays for it like 20 times over. It doesn't really cost that much to store it, but every time someone downloads it, that costs money. So that's why charging based on downloads, I think, is the best way to go.
I get it. I don't know. I'm just happy with Podbean. I can't complain about that. Just like I'm using Cetra Host, which I have no idea as far as like that goes. Not many people.
It's all right. They've done you good, and it's not expensive. Yeah, Podbean's all right. Actually, I don't really like the way it's like their interface is set up. Transistor's interface is way easier to use, but I guess it's for Podbean, if you it really just breaks down to like for what host you should use about like what you need. Like if you're only going to upload 5 hours a month, it's probably better to go with Podbean. It's only $9. But if you're going to do more than that and you want multiple shows, then you should go Transistor. Like it just depends.
That makes sense. Although if we did do video, it would save a lot of space. Just because like I'm recording video now.
Well, the thing about video is with those companies is I think they'll automatically publish it to your YouTube. That's basically it. But you know what Descript actually does? It's pretty cool. You can record remotely with it now, and it'll like transcribe as you're talking, and you can like edit it as you're going, and they do audiograms. So I'm thinking Descript, and they have the overdub thing where like you train your voice, and then you can like edit and type in words, and it'll like say the words. But yeah, the script's getting to the point where I think it's
Viable?
it's getting
Or is it
yeah,
getting
where
too
it's
big?
like, it's starting to make sense to use it for more than just transcriptions, basically.
Not bad. Although if you do transcription too, you can help with your, was it the search engine optimization too, right?
Yeah.
I wish, but the big thing about Spotify is they want to be the number one podcast carrier. Their show notes section is fucking terrible. So,
But how are they making? I don't understand how they're making. Like, how is Anchor making any money? That's the problem. I think they're pulling the YouTube model where they offer it for free for several years, dominate the market, and then they can do whatever the fuck they want, like YouTube did. Now there's like 50 ads per YouTube video.
trying to get you to subscribe to pay the extra money. Like, I'm already a Spotify premium user, so it's probably not going to affect me any more than it already does. I'm already a YouTube premium member, so that's not going to affect me because I put YouTube videos on just to fucking let them play while I'm doing shit around the house, and I don't want to deal with the ads, which I think is their goal. Let it run in the background.
Well, on my when I'm watching on my computer, I have ad blockers, so the ads don't play anyway. But when I'm on my phone, yeah, I was just listening to like a podcast to like do some research about a person before an interview I was doing. They have a small podcast with like 150 downloads per episode. There was literally 15 ads on a 45-minute podcast. 15.
Can't you control that as the person who releases that podcast, though, at all?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe they just put a crap ton of ads so they can make $12 from it. But, dude, it was Alita Andre's parents. I don't think they really need the money, so.
That's probably true.
She's selling paintings for like 50 grand a painting, and she's 13 years old.
What did I do with my life? I'm just so late to the game on everything. I'm just not going to make money on it ever.
Well, dude. Oh, yeah, everybody is. You just got the grind, man. You trying to hit that like jackpot?
No, I guess not. Because if it becomes something I have to make money on, I probably wouldn't enjoy doing it.
When Crowdcaster takes off, I will hire you to fluff. You'll be the fluffer.
The fluffer.
For 150 grand a year.
Oh, I'll fluff. All right. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to get a quick one in today. I'll see if I can even edit video for me. Yeah. If not.
Yeah. You recorded OBS?
I do. And then I save it into a separate folder. As soon as you said go into your desktop and make a folder and then just have it go there, everything got fixed. As far as download, my downloads are nice and straight now. So simple.
Yeah, let's record again tomorrow. You want to have a legit actual episode?
Yeah. Sounds like a plan. It's even a good work day tomorrow. I have a good work day. I'm going to be selling some more shit from Facebook they're supposed to be here like 3 o'clock and 1:30 to pick up some shit and give me some more money. Oh, did you realize how popular Dyson fans were?
No, I had no idea.
The bladeless fan, the tiny with the desktop fan, I put it up. It's been sitting in my office for, honest to God, I don't know, since I moved in. I don't think I've turned it on. I posted it for $40 and I had 38 messages. Like 38 different people messaged me in 12 minutes. And I was like, you know what?
Flippers.
I'm just fucking sick of this. I don't want to do this anymore.
Means you underpriced it, right?
Yeah, probably. But, that's overwhelming. I don't know how people try to make a living on doing resales and like
Flipping?
yeah, and like and people that
God.
sell power sellers on eBay. That takes a weird amount of grind. Like sitting there and reply to ask seller a message.
Oh, I was subscribed to the flipping subreddit for a while. I don't know why. I just found it interesting. But yeah, they were all like bitching about how Goodwill's raising their prices and stuff.
That's what you do is you get people to donate all of your supply and then you just sell it at an increased rate. It's like, this is a perfect business plan. I don't have any overhead that I have to purchase. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
It's a slog. It's a grind though. You're making like $1 or $2 off certain things, you know?
Yeah, it's really a volume thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man.
All right.
I'll go let you do your thing. This has been episode 24, I think, of the On-Call Pod. Either way, it's going to be in the show notes. You guys have a great night. And Lowell, my friend, catch you on the flippity flip.
Flippity flop.
Thanks for listening to the On Call Podcast. Check us out on Twitter at OnCallPod. Interested in being a sponsor or want to be on the show? Drop us an email at oncallpod@gmail.com. For more info, go to oncallpod.com.